Hi YouTube. I'm on my kitchen floor. Ori's in her bumbo seat and she's eating right now. And I came over here because this is our hardwood floor area. But anyway, I kind of wanted to do an update on her and solid foods and eating. I made her 8-month update, and I said that I was kind of offering solid foods and she wasn't interested. And I also wrote a blog post that week, I believe, on my Shalom in the Home at WordPress.com blog about Food Before One Just for Fun was the title. And it's kind of funny because as soon as I blogged about delaying solids and her not being interested in solid foods, she started to ask for them pretty much. So I just wanted to update on that. It seems like all of a sudden she just completely skipped the pureed baby food stage. She doesn't want anything to do with yogurt or anything creamy or mushy. She wants to be able to pick it up and feed herself. So she was just waiting for me to give her more solid table food type foods, I guess. So without setting out to do baby-led weaning, she kind of did that on her own. But anyway, just this past week, she has been, as an effort to get her interested in solid foods and kind of familiarize herself with food. I've been holding her while I eat and while my husband eats, and she just when she watches, and she'll try and grab things off our plate. And so last week I had made salmon, and she got a hold of a piece and she ate it, and she loved it. She wanted more. So I just cut up a little part of the meat and gave it to her, and she was leaning and opening her mouth and definitely interested in the salmon. She really loves salmon. So I was okay. So I had some red potatoes that I had made in olive oil, and I mushed a few up and gave them to her, and she loved it. We were at a friend's house, and she had made a salad with a bunch of avocado, and I broke the avocado into little pieces, and she ate that. So just in this last week, she has gone from not wanting anything in her mouth to eating, basically, and feeding herself. And she's now, I just introduced the sippy cup last week with just filtered water, and she drinks that herself. So lots of changes there. So anyway, I'm basically just giving her whatever we eat, if it's an appropriate meal. So, if I make steamed veggies fresh, I'll just cut them up into little pieces for her, and she feeds herself. I've given her salmon, and she's had little pieces of hard-boiled egg, and, of course, fruits and, things like avocado. So she also likes the little organic cereal puffs. She eats those, and she feeds those to herself. So anyway, lots of changes as far as her diet. She's still breastfeeding the same amount. We've just kind of added those other things. So anyway, I had previously, about a month ago, during one of the consignment events, I struck up a conversation with a mom who was standing in line in front of me at the checkout. And turns out she had a daughter who was 2 weeks older than Oria. And she was asking me, so, what are you doing for solid foods? And I just told her that, I had offered them, and that she wasn't really that interested. And so that we were pretty much still exclusively breastfeeding. And the lady just went overboard with giving me a guilt trip, telling me how, I needed to be really careful because what I was doing was dangerous, and if I didn't introduce foods now that she would never eat them. And it was like a 15-minute lecture, and I couldn't go anywhere because I'm waiting in line at a consignment event from this stranger about how I'm, like, you know, harming my child by not force feeding her baby food. So I was like, okay, lady. I mean, it was a little bit awkward, but I felt like really, like, I was questioning my decision to kind of hold off on the solid foods and not force feeding her. So I was on the I was on the La Leche League forums, which is a great resource, and I was just kind of searching what other people had experienced. You know, if they had babies who were not really that interested in solid foods, or if they had delayed solid foods, and I found it to be quite a common topic on the thread, so that a lot of people with breastfed babies found that their babies were just fine with breast milk for a much longer period of time than those who aren't breastfed. So I don't know, it was like a common concern or common issue. And one phrase that kept coming up in the forums was food before one, just for fun. You know, basically, breast milk is all the nutrition that a baby under a year old needs, and that other foods that you introduced are just kind of like for fun. They're just supplemental, you know, on the side, but they're not needed to sustain the baby or to add to, you know, nutritional intake. So I blogged about that, and, you know, of course, this past week she started eating food. But I just wanted to put that out there for other moms who have babies like Oria, who are just really not interested at all in pureed baby food or you know, yogurts or anything that's like a puree form, to you know, not buy into what other people are saying, that you need to force feed your baby because then they'll never eat real food. That's just silly. You know, every baby is different, I will say that. So some babies will be very interested in baby food, and others, like my daughter, won't be. But I just wanted to make a video to say basically that don't stress out and worry about your baby if you know, they are at a healthy weight, they're meeting their developmental milestones, they're having the right amount of wet diapers and poopy diapers, but they just don't seem interested in baby food, because they will eat when they're ready, so there's no need to, you know, force feed them when they don't want to. So I hope that is encouraging if you find yourself in the same situation. She just kind of started feeding herself and let me know when she was ready, and kind of instituted baby-led weaning on our own without that really being my intention. So anyway, just thought I'd update you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.